Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Love Coding. In this video, I am going to discuss about the topic variables. Variables is an entity that is used in almost every programming language around the globe. If you are new to programming, this might be the first time that you are hearing about the term variables. So variable is anything whose value varies, as the name suggests, variables. Let me put it in a simple term. It is any element or entity whose value can change during the program execution. Let me repeat. Any element or entity whose value can change during the program execution is known as a variable. A variable can be thought of as a container that is capable of containing some stuff. Example, bucket or a vessel. So a bucket is supposed to contain water, whereas vessel contains some food stuff. Similarly, variables hold values or data. Well, variable does not comes automatically in your program. You as a programmer have to declare as well as initialize your variables. Now I will come across these two terms, declaration and initialization, later on in this video. So then move ahead. Let's move ahead. Now a variable can be of different types. Let me provide you some other real world examples. Now I have again come across an important term, that is types, when I was saying that a variable can be of different types. Now I'm going to provide you some important examples of what I mean when I say types. Okay, in real world, car is meant to commute people, truck is meant to commute sand and rocks, vehicle carrier is meant to commute vehicle. Here people, sand and rocks and vehicle are the types of thing that car, truck and vehicle carrier can hold, can contain, can commute. Nothing apart from these. Okay. Similarly, similar are the types for variables. Okay. Let us move ahead. In programming language, variables are of different types like integer, float, double, string, and boolean, and several variations of these. Let us correlate with our example that I have told just now. That is, a car is meant to commute people, truck is meant to commute sand and rocks, and vehicle carrier is meant to commute vehicle. Let's correlate those examples these with these variables. Okay. So in the first example, int a is equal to 56. What is this? As I have explained earlier, that there are different types to which a variable can be associated, like integer, float, double, string, and boolean. So integer is nothing but the type of my variable a. Here a is my variable name, the same variable that we were talking about earlier. This a in this line is my variable. This is the type of my variable a, that is integer, and this is the value that has been given to a. Okay. Now, correlating with our example earlier, car is meant to commute people. So a is meant to hold values which are of type integer, and that's what we have provided to a, that is 56. 56 is an integer number, and we have assigned 56 to a. Similarly, moving on to the next example, b is the variable name, the type name is float, and it is going to hold small decimal values like 5.0 or 20, 28.0 or 56.0 or 200.11, anything which holds decimal values. Okay, so again, correlating with our example earlier, like truck is meant to commute sand and rocks, B is meant to hold values of type floating point, okay, as we have done here when we have assigned 5.0 to B. Similar is the thing with C. C is the variable name, double is the type, and this is my value that I have assigned to C. Similar is the example with this line. D is my variable name, string is the type, and plain is the value. So what is a string? String is a collection of characters, like say plain, blame, uh, cat. So these are all strings. Okay, it can be the name of person, place, uh, and anything that you can think of as a collection of character or a combination of character. That is what we call as a string. And the last type that we had mentioned earlier is Boolean type. So the type here is Boolean, variable name is E, and the value can either be true or false. Okay, so now in these lines, since we have promised earlier that we will mention about that we'll go through the term declaration and initialization. Let's see what I mean when I say the term declaration. Declar Declaration. Let me remove this line. So now I'm going to declare the values. We have actually done declaration and initialization above. Now my point here is to make you guys understand what do we actually mean by this. These are all present here. Declaration and initialization has already been done in these lines. But what is it actually? Let's see. So when we write the line int a, float b, double c, what we are doing here is we are declaring the variables. Okay, so this is what is known as declaration. We have declared A, we have declared B, we have declared C, and similarly, if we would have written the line string B and bool E. But when we do something like 34 or something like 780.09 or something like 450000.23, that means that we are initializing values to our variable. Like A has been initialized with the value 34, B is initialized with this value, C is initialized with this value. This is known as initialization. Okay, so clear up till now what is declaration and what do we mean when we say that we have initialized our variable? All right. Next, moving ahead, we have almost covered the important bits of variables. Now let me highlight the important key points here. First of all, we need to declare our variables, but before we have actually thought of using it, we need to initialize it with some values like this. Like for example, what I mean when I say this term is that if we have used a statement like only this, int a, and we have started writing our program, let's say we are writing our program here, and we want to use our variable a, then it will throw a compile time error. Reason being that we have just declared our variable. We have not initialized it. Hence, it is always a good practice to initialize your variable at the point where you are declaring it, like this. Now, at the point when you are utilizing your variable, your compiler will be happy and it will move ahead. Okay. Next point, variables value varies. Okay. So it might so happen that we have declared our variable initially with the value as 5. Moving ahead, I want to give it another value. So a is equal to 90. We can absolutely do that. That's why they are known as variables. Again, if at some other juncture in our program, I want to give it some other values like 675. Absolutely, that's fine. We can do that. That is the meaning of variable. It is anything whose value varies. Moving on to the next point. You have to assign values to variables before you can use them. We have already discussed it earlier. Okay. Then a few useful types are like int, float, double, string, and boolean. Okay. So that pretty much covers the essence of variables and how we are going to declare it, how we are going to initialize it, the popular types of the variables, what a variable can hold, what a variable uh, is capable of doing in a program, and who is supposed to declare variable. That is no one else but us, the programmers. All right. So in our coming video, uh, let me know in the comment section below uh, what other bits of this explanation you want more upon, you want me to highlight more upon, and yeah, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and let me know your thoughts. Thank you very much.